Spinny. We're live, Dr. Art.
Yay!
That means it's Wednesday night.
Yes.
We survived the whole week.
Right, and the coffee.
And the coffee. Oh, guys, we had a coffee tragedy here before. Look, it just wants to pop off. I'm going to sue 7-Eleven.
It's a Chinese lid.
It's the scumbags over there trying to wreck our life. All right, who do we got here? Mexican Spec is in the house. Jimmy, Loose, John Jones, Scoop. 72Z28. Uh-oh, Dr. Art is angry. No, I calmed him down. I sung a lullaby, and he melted out. Yeah, it was great. Plasma Storm, always, bro. Bill McKeiska, Mike N, 72Z28. I think I said that already. Randall Munson. Power Toys, 957. Mike Carbide Jones. That's a great name, man. I'm Carbide Jones.
Carbide Jones.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you saw the assault. Good, because I'm going to need witnesses. My lawyer will be in touch with you. Roy Miller, what's happening? Nathan McCree, Thunderstruck 666. Bobby Z, Zuji. All right, I think I've said enough hi to enough people. No, yeah. I'm going to keep saying hi. Bob C, what's happening, bro?
Scoop Joe K, Phil Buckley.
Yeah, Phil Buckley, Adam Herbert. Fubar the axe.
Fubar.
We can all relax. Now all we need is 0 in here.
And then
right, exactly. Yeah. And then we just we achieve fifth dimension.
Fifth level chess sanctity.
Yeah, it's a higher level of frequency. Rust Bucket Restos, what's happening? I hope everybody is well tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Most of you. I hope that most of you. I hope the vast majority of you are well tonight. There might be a couple of you I'm not crazy about, but we'll keep that to ourselves.
Yes, we have our list.
No, I love everybody here.
We forgot our damn list again. We always have these good ideas.
Charlie Roma, what's happening?
This is making it cold.
That's doing jack shit. What are you doing with that? I have my little.
It was just for the air.
Oh, okay. That doesn't. Yeah.
But it makes it too cold.
Let's see. Thunderstruck, is there a lot of snow? We didn't get snow. We just got cold.
Cold. No snow.
Cold.
Those are, down south. Way down south from us it snowed.
Grandpa, let's talk philosophy. Is it the end of times? By the way, yesterday I got new tires. Always a treat. Yes.
Sweet Spot 83 Ford Shorty Van. That's a hell of a name, isn't it?
What's the name? You lost it. We lost it. Oh, Sweet Spot 83. Okay, yeah. Well, what's happening? Sweet Spot. The main CD Burlock. We just got a brand new fire in LA. Congratulations!
Yay!
I know it's been a little while. We could use a fire.
We could use a fire. Yeah.
You want to share?
Warm us up a little bit. Yeah.
All of the snow went south of us. Like I know you guys down in Texas and Louisiana, around New Orleans, like Pensacola. It's like I know you guys got slaughtered down there, and I snickered because sometimes most of the time we get that,
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was pretty cool. Let's see. Birmingham went into hibernation.
Yeah.
Joe Case, let's see. Tony's a few winter projects deep in the backlog. I'm way behind. We have the Mad Maxine, Mission Improbable, the XJ with the cam noise, Ducky's car, propane mule car. All right, well, just to go through that, Mission Improbable is just on hiatus now until the track's open. So there's nothing I can do to that car. It's just parked. The XJ with the cam noise. Yeah, I'm doing that car. I'm doing an in-car engine rebuild, but I'm also doing the body work and the paint on that, and that'll happen in the spring. Ducky's car. Ducky is mobile again. Ducky's got this big gash and stuff like that. He actually died. He had an accident and he died right after the accident, and then he brought him back. I'm not joking about that either. I didn't know it was that serious at the time. But he died and came back.
He offed himself and they pumped him back.
He didn't off himself. He had a car accident.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, he fell asleep in the car.
Whatever. Yeah, that thing happened. Okay. So things are good. Things are good. I still got to put Bottle Rocket back together again. I got a lot of stuff to do, but We'll get it done. We'll get it done. Oops. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. 69 Coronet 500. What's happening? Okay, you love the Made Maxine idea. Lots of people do. I'm surprised. I didn't think there'd be that much interest in it.
That did really well, didn't it?
Well, numbers wise, no, right?
But interest?
But interest wise, yes. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It's going to be a bunch of condensed videos. Like, the first one is going to be converting a fuel injection manifold to carburetor and the pitfalls to go with that. Working around ignition issues, working around transmission issues. So it'll all just be a series of de-evolution tech pieces that'll culminate in a running reel.
Okay.
Craig Simpson, what's happening, brother? Thanks for the Jungle Jim Burnout getting to us. Jungle Jim Burnout getting us to Friday. The Jungle Jim Burnout. Craig, I know. I did Craig's show with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Did you?
Well, yeah, it was right. You went on right after my live, so I clicked over and told my 3 viewers to go and.
Yeah. If any of you guys haven't seen it, I did Craig, what were we on for, like 9 hours or something? We did a live over at Radiant Creators. So if you guys haven't seen that, you want to go check it out. That's Craig's channel. Let's see. Bob C. Is a late 80s or early 90s Cherokee good for the EM-proof XJ? No, only the very earliest ones, like 84, 85 with the carbureted V6. Those are the only ones that would maybe, as they are, be EMP-proof. Anything with the 4-liter on forward, no, not EMP-proof. Let's see. Power Toys. Should I buy a solid clean 2001 XJ with a non-0331 head? It has 150,000 replacement motor at 75,000. Electric fans are connected to a toggle switch, unfortunately, which is $3,800. If it's rust free, bro, I mean,
if it's $3,800, nice.
Yeah, if it's $3,800 and it's got a decent interior and it doesn't have giant holes in the floor or the frame rails. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong. But I could be wrong,
Yeah, from here to that Jeep is
right. I'm basing my opinion on a sentence that you wrote. So. Yeah. Tom Doby mower repair. Yes, we have finally broken through to the mower repair.
The mower repair place.
Yes.
Well, it's I thought we were going to get a lot of TikTok refugees.
No,
but they brought it back. Yeah, the 12 hours of panic and everybody lost their mind, and then click, it's back on.
Doesn't matter. We have the mower cartel. Welcome, Tom Doby.
The mower cartel is going to get real busy because all his mowing friends are going home.
Yeah. Mexican Spec is saying any vehicle that will run for a couple of years is worth $3,800. That's hard to argue with. So yeah. When I was back in my mechanic days, right?
Okay.
So the numbers are way different now because we're talking about decades later, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But people would come to me and they say, well, I need a motor, I don't know if I should put it in a car yet. And you break down the numbers for them and you tell them, listen, if it's $2,000 for me to do the motor in this car, right? Or you go out and you buy a new car, then you're going to have to float $250 worth of payment and $250 worth of comprehensive. That's $500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
If you do this engine and get 4 months out of it,
you're flush.
You're even. You get a 5th month, you're out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy when you think about that, right? What Mexican Spec is saying is exactly right. $3,800. You buy something cash for $3,800, right? New car. Between the payment and the insurance, comprehensive and all of that, you're looking at over $1,000. So if you get 4 months out of a $3,800 car without having to put anything into it,
you're $200 ahead.
Yeah, exactly. You're $200 ahead. Your 5th month, it's like free car. So by using that math, and I know it's a rough math, but it's legit and it's close. And people just don't think of it that way. Rock and Roll Garage loves our content. So we got the small mower guys and we got the Rock and Roll
Garage. So we're good. We can't hear nothing.
I used to have venues, Rock and Roll Garage. We used to promote a lot of punk and metal shows here in the Nashville area. Mike Brunello got banned from Facebook for 48 hours, and I lost my mind, couldn't buy or sell nothing. Yeah, well, that's why you got to use your old lady's account, which is what I do.
Yeah.
The guys are always bummed when I show up because they think it's Kathy. You know what I mean? Like I message him.
There's some broad coming over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some broad with money.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
You slam dunk and you go and you beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. I show up and they're like, oh. EVs are dead. Yeah. Well, I mean,
the mandate's dead, so it goes back to the 2% of people that want them, not forcing it on everybody.
Right, which means that nobody's going to buy them.
No.
Or not enough people to account for the.
So 30 manufacturers that have.
Right.
Yeah.
Cultured Redneck Garage. Quick 72 B-body door question. If a door latch is failing to latch without resetting it manually, can that be repaired or should it be repaired? First, take door panel off, right? And lube that whole assembly from behind. WD-40 or PB Blast or something like that. Lube like crazy, okay? Let it sit for a few minutes and open and close it several times and it'll probably free itself up. A lot of times the white lube that people spray in there
doesn't get in there.
Over time, right? 50-year-old white lube and it's attracted all kinds of like dust and grime. It becomes like concrete. So that could be lube before you condemn it. Tom Dobie is bringing the lawnmower community to my channel.
Nice.
Bring him to Dr. Art's too. Dr. Art actually does a lot of small engine stuff. He's done a lot of small engine stuff. Let's see. Cart 70 saying like buttons need loving too. Dude, there's only 33 likes.
Yeah, it's slow. Ooh.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to get therapy.
I wonder if there's a hate button that would be like 500 by now.
They can give us thumbs down. I mean, it's okay. As long as it's a reaction. You just want a reaction.
Yeah.
Scoop is back in the lawn care game. This is a directional term for us.
Well, yeah, there's going to be a high demand for. There's a lot of lawnmowers missing.
Did you see that? Did you see that video I did like a couple of years ago? The lawnmower one.
No.
Will it run?
No, you didn't. Will it
yeah,
run?
Like I found a push mower in the woods. So I pushed it all the way back to the shop and did a whole thing on getting it running. And you didn't see that?
No.
Fubar just put up a link to my merch. He didn't put up a link to your merch. He put up a link to my merch. Thank you, Fubar. Put Kathy Bananas to work.
Yeah.
Our hats. It's a hat. That's a shirt. Right. Which one am I wearing tonight?
Internal combustion. Standing
Yes.
up because I pee.
Yes, we still have thousands of those. Right. So yes, follow the link that Fubar put up. We got hats. We got these. I hate cars. Mugs in there. You need that. Okay. Every mechanic needs that. So thank you, Fubar, as always. UP Tinker, you remember the video? All right, come on. Let's talk tech now. Let's get into tech. Oh yeah, the lawnmower cold start. Right, I forgot about that. I did that too.
Tony and Dr. Art are Manly points distributor any good? If it's in good shape yet.
Oh, Mallory.
No, yeah.
Yes, they're excellent. Excellent. You can still get a lot of the service parts new. Zuki saying he liked Dr. Art's video on tuning a carb LS with a stock PCM.
Thank you.
You're a miracle worker. I didn't know that could be done.
Yes. Yeah, it's a very popular, keeps me tuning computers very busy.
Dude, that's the kind of stuff that ends up in scripture. Like centuries from now.
Oh, and then we did it for the Gen 3, but we can also do it because my buddy helped me with it. The Gen 4 stuff, the E38s, that you have to buy the $1,500 program from GM to do it. We do it for $300.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I need you to take a look at my 2000 XJ.
Okay.
It needs more time. I could feel it. There's a significant gas mileage loss over the other two-wheel drives.
Oh, okay.
And I could literally feel that it, even
it's just struggling.
It's, you know what I mean? It's not. It doesn't have any snap to it, right?
The black one?
The new one that I got.
Oh, the new one. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll look at that.
It needs like another 5 degrees or so down low. And
Just to make it run nice. Yeah, we can do that. That's easy. I did a JTech class last night for a guy.
Okay.
Because he had HP tuners and he got it on his Jeep and he was real close. And I'm like, okay, tell you what, you got your laptop open. And I walked him through extending the RPM and where to do this and that and stuff like that. So, yeah. So now I'm schooling.
And you're covering the stuff on your channel.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab. War Ghost. Let's talk about the tech involved in constructing the World's Fairs in 2 years. Obviously, it didn't happen. Right? I know. But I'm the conspiracy guy. Tom Dobie says that I received an honorary Alabama mower repair certificate.
Is it
I'm not worthy.
patch you could put on?
I'm not worthy.
The Alabama Mowers Association.
Yeah, it's actually a brand. Yeah, on your chest. They brand you.
Oh,
yeah.
Yay! Woo!
It's Alabama. They roll hard down there, man. Professor Gins, my Nitro brother. What's happening, man? Because there are no drag strips near me and a dirt oval a half mile away, I am building a sprint car. I need an unpaid pit crew. Any volunteers close to Ventura, California? Well, there you go, guys. You want to go work with a race car?
There's a bunch of guys from California in here. Yeah.
Yeah, Professor Gins he's a veteran racer. A half mile. You got a dirt oval a half mile away from me, bro. I would be building a sprint car too.
Yeah, you get the fever after a couple of weekends, wouldn't you?
You don't even have to trail your shit there. You know what I mean?
You could drive it, pull in the back pits. Yeah.
Seriously, you know what I mean? It's like, how do you not?
Yeah.
Have you know, like if I had a drag strip a half mile from me, I would have a fuel car because I could drive it from the shop to the track.
Yeah.
You know why, right?
Yeah. Somebody had a question for me. Go ahead.
Who? Oh, let's go back. Is this one? Blue collar worker?
No.
Can you program fuel injectors in a 2001 Dodge Durango 5.9?
Yeah.
In his sleep. Literally, in his sleep.
That might have been, but somebody said I got a question. I don't know if it was blue collar or not.
Okay. Oh, look, Fubar put the link to your merch.
Because Fubar is excellent.
Well, he felt bad for you.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm glad somebody does.
Why should the big T get all the...
Yeah.
Thank you, Fubar. I'm trying to find out.
Not near Ventura. Yeah. You got a go-kart for bug out.
Yeah, Philip Walker. I've got a go-kart for a bug out Honda. Yeah, that's great. What do I do with my 5 dogs? You know? Or what do people do when they got kids and stuff like that and they got a bug out?
They're bugging out.
See you guys. I hope you make it through the shit. I'll see you later. Yeah, no, man. Okay, blue collar workers talking about his
yeah, pretty easy. He bought some aftermarket injectors, couldn't get the idle right, had to take them back out. Phenomenal fuel mileage, but couldn't get it to idle. Oh, okay, so it's just lean. That's easy.
He knows what to do. He said, no one around me can program the injectors in the vehicle at all. You don't program the injectors, you program The injectors don't have a standalone, an individual brain of their own.
You just tell the engine to work with what
Right.
you got. Yeah. You kind of have to lie to it to make it work, but it works. Yeah.
Who has a box of Cosmoline? Well, you don't hear that's a word you don't hear anymore.
No.
Let's see. I can't. I think I'm
Yeah.
stroke or something.
Just roll. I'll see if I can get a good question here.
Okay, go ahead. You find a good
Fine.
question.
Yeah. Okay, here's something completely off the cuff. Repairing a snowblower made me think about the slipping belt. Tony, you didn't do this fan belt on one of your cars.
Oh, that's
the
an old
accessory
trick.
turned off. Yeah, slow or not at all. Yeah.
That's an old trick. Anytime you break, like back in the day, they don't do it anymore because everything's got like automatic tensioners now. But back in the day, when you take your street car to the track, the first thing you do is like loosen up all the belts just a little bit, not so that they would fall off, but so that they slip.
Mm-hmm. Mark Sylvace's, I'm sure you said you were going to quit on Sunday.
I did.
And then you started, you just start back up again.
No, I quit I quit like 2 weeks ago. Cold turkey. Cold turkey is a disgusting habit, and I'm tired of being a slave to the cancer sticks.
The big tobacco.
Yeah, big tobacco. They made enough money off of me, so no, I quit, and I'm not going back.
Mm-mm.
Plus, I identify as a quitter.
There you go. Here's one for you. B-Rob82, do you think you should upgrade the Molly rings when I rebuild my Magnum in the spring, or just use the cast?
Just use the cast.
Yeah.
Although those aren't the rings that are in the Magnums aren't really cast. They're stainless. Doesn't the Magnum use a stainless top ring? I think it uses a cast scraper and a stainless top. I'm not sure, but it's not like an old school cast ring. Does anybody know what the ring pack of a Magnum consists of? Have they changed the definition of quitting? No, but those are my pronouns. Quitted, quitter.
That's right.
Yes.
What is this here? Packaging. More crap going to come tomorrow.
KJ Tyler just told me don't inhale. I don't. I can't inhale if I don't smoke, damn it. Done.
Yeah, done.
Seth Daly, I'm grateful for all the lessons you taught in order for me to build the Co-Fierce in order to rip apart a Edelbrock car by myself. Thank you. You're very welcome. That's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Lucky Lindy's over 50.
Yeah.
Do you know her?
Yeah.
Yes.
I met her.
No one likes a quitter. I know. But it's just my pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
Quitter, quitted, quit.
Jeff Hutchinson's. You kind of have to lie to them to make them work. You mean the people? No. Well, yeah, sometimes.
Okay, the holes. Tony, technical question, not a test. Just trying to support the channel. Okay.
Okay.
I'm always being tested. What do you think about the spark plugs with 3 or 4 ground straps in the holder motors? Alfa Romeos use them. It's nonsense. It's the same spark, right? You've got one electrode, right, and then you've got 2, 3, 5 ground straps, and the idea is that it bounces from ground strap to ground strap. But that's nonsense. It's the same spark with the same duration. It can only find a ground once during that cycle. Now, okay, for a super high mileage time, right? So let's just say let's say you're going to go past like 30 or 40,000 miles on an old school spark plug. Okay, I could see a benefit for much longer term use, where the edges of the ground straps start to get worn away. They start to get etched away. So I could see having a fresh ground strap or another one next to it so that they kind of share the load a little bit. But as far as there being any extra spark or any extra oomph to it, no, it's nonsense.
It's
ridiculous.
nonsense. You don't support non-binary spark plug.
Yes, you get one electrode
you get one,
and you get one power pulse that goes through it, and that's it, right? So whichever ground strap,
it's not making some blue arc of spark. It's going to go
right?
one way or the other. Yeah.
Jacob Bowman put E3 plugs on my old 318 once and hated them. Would not run right. Excuse me, for some reason.
6th Street Garage, Dr. Art. When you carb swap that LS, what is the drivability like cold starts? Do you have to let them warm up a little bit? Well, anytime you got a carb out of it, you got to let it warm up. There's a setting to where you can set the, but by temperature you can do some spark stuff when it's real cold. Give it a little more timing when it's cold, but it's all depending on the carburetor. Okay,
so here's going to be a problem with any carburetor going onto any engine that wasn't designed originally to have a carburetor. Okay, and there's no plenum heat. In an engine that's designed for a carbureted application, there'll be a heat crossover at the bottom of the intake manifold, and there's heat passages that are in the head. So one exhaust port goes to the outside, and it also goes to the inside on each head in the center, one in the center too. When it's functioning correctly, there is exhaust being passed under the carburetor, and that heats the plenum and gets your vaporization going. All right, because carburetor atomizes, but it doesn't vaporize, and it uses that heat in the intake manifold to vaporize. Now, eventually, an intake manifold will get warm enough, right? Like let's say, without a heat crossover, after let's say 8 minutes, 8 minutes, like that, an aluminum intake manifold will eventually reach the same temperature as the cylinder heads, and the engine will run right. But until that happens, it's going to be very sluggish. It's going to be very temperamental. It's going to want the choke on. It's only going to want to run with the choke on. But once you get past that, then it's all good. You just have to wait for the intake manifold itself for the heat to radiate from the heads to the intake manifold, and you don't have to worry about the crossover underneath.
Yeah, and most of the guys that have that done, they're using it for like a race application.
Yeah,
a late model or some kind of drag car. So it's really not. They just let the motor warm up and then pull it to the line and go.
Right. Plus, they're generally fatter than a street application.
Right. And if you're gonna have the LS and on a daily driver, there's no reason to put a carburetor on it.
Yes, there is, because it's better than fuel injection.
Okay.
But that's just my opinion.
Right.
And
but either way, I can set it up. Yeah.
Yes, he will make it work either way.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it too. 34 degrees tomorrow night in Orlando. Oof. Oh, wait, what was this? Apartment 78 got a factory thermoquad intake for 318. Found out it has a hairline crack both sides of the divider, 1 inch across the floor above the exhaust of the crossover port. Should I have it welded or epoxied? Let me read that one more time. Thermoquad intake manifold for 318. Found out it has a hairline crack both sides of the divider. That's not a problem. 1 inch across the floor above over the exhaust port. Should I have it rolled and epoxied?
It goes down.
Okay, it's got to be a bed casting. So here's the thing, right? Epoxy isn't going to hold it. Period. The end, because you're dealing with exhaust gases. If it's well, now wait. Now, are you running an exhaust crossover underneath it? Like for instance, if it's on a Magnum head, like we were talking about before, there's no exhaust crossover, so no worry about it. But if you're running it on an engine that has an active exhaust crossover and it has a crack, epoxy isn't going to hold it. The heat is going to get to the epoxy. Just the expansion and contraction rates, and then the heat from underneath. It won't last long. If you're not running exhaust crossover, don't worry about it. Just set it. If you are running exhaust crossover, get a different intake manifold. It's a bad casting.
You're just going to chase that crack forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bad casting.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I do not ever recall finding a cracked factory Mopar intake manifold.
Mm-hmm. Mitten made muscle. Where'd you go?
What is a lot?
Yeah, there's a lot, and we're not even on the good shit.
Oh, we should put it on a good chat.
Yeah.
Really throw ourselves into a
into the loop. Yeah,
yeah.
let's do that. Let's like we're know
Live
what we're
chat.
doing. Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
Okay.
If you had questions the last couple minutes, just put them back up again.
-7 in West Michigan.
Oui.
It was like 4. It was 4 here this morning.
Mm-hmm.
You're wondering if the machine shop did it when they hot tanked it and then blasted it? Nah.
Mm.
No.
No, that's not going to
Unless they
crack it.
blasted it with like a super collider or something. No.
They put it in a
cyclotron.
Yeah.
They sent it to Switzerland.
Yeah, the Hadron Collider, and
Right.
smashed 2 atoms.
They use it in
crossover.
search of the God particle.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that the blasting it could cause something like that to crack.
Mm-hmm.
Power flight. Well, I haven't heard the word power flight in a long time. That's the cast iron 2-speed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jeff Hutchins says only a nut, all caps, would remove good EFI like an LS has and put a carb on. Yes, only the craziest people. What kind of mental deficiency do you believe would cause somebody to do that?
I don't know. They pay me, so I make them happy. So that's their status is up to them.
Wouldn't they be better off paying a therapist?
Probably
some
not.
kind of.
I mean, for a couple hours of therapist, you can buy the whole conversion kit. So it's not that big a deal. And then you go through it, and then some guys just want a carburetor because they want a carburetor. Okay, they want to go old school.
Elmo was saying unless I want a retro look under the hood.
Yeah.
Cheap rolling. I got a 318 and one cylinder wheel has a gouge from a wrist pin. I put it back together. It seems to run fine. Do you think this will be okay for a daily driver?
Yeah, if it's not smoking now.
Yeah, I mean, where is the gouge?
And how big?
Yeah. Shit. We did a lawnmower engine. Not a lawnmower engine. A go-kart engine. Right? We did a video on a go-kart engine where we wanted to see what would happen with JB well hold in something like that. So we took a die grinder. We made all kinds of marks up and down. And so gouges.
So mean.
Oh yeah, it was brutal, right? So then we hit it with JB weld, let it cure overnight, and he honed it out, reassembled the engine, and it held fine. The thing ran really good.
Yeah, it's still going.
It's still running. Whoever's got it is still using it. When I morph into Project Farm mode, I don't know. He does legit testing. Okay, there's a distinct difference. When I do this stuff, it's like I'm legit. I really don't know how this thing works, right? Or really don't have the skill because I'm trying to be the viewer. I'm trying to make it as relatable as possible. So when I test something, it has to be something that I buy something to evaluate it. It has to be something I really have no knowledge of. So that that's really how the viewer can relate. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. What's this new cool thing and how does it work? Yeah.
Yeah. Project Farm's great channel. I never pretended to be Project Farm. Thunderbird is saying the chat is boogieing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But only 105 people like chatting here.
Yeah, they should.
Don't take it personally, Dr. Art.
Dougster Wolverine Garage bought a set of new Edelbrock ABS 2 650s from Auto Parts Store closings sale. Paid $475 for a set. Local speed shop quoted me $800 this spring. Never owned new carbs.
Nice.
Hey, that's a smoking deal.
Yeah, seriously. Jimmy Luce, thank you for the super chat. Do you think NHRA going down to 1,000 feet in 2008 did anything safety-wise? The cars have a higher chap speed now at 1,000 feet than they did at 1,329. I first of all, I'm an 8 mile advocate. Okay, so I prefer a shorter drag strip. Now they used this was all as a result of Scott Kalina's accident, right? And they used the Englishtown shutdown area as an example of where the cars just go too fast for the shutdown area. Nonsense. They used that was a scapegoat. I knew the Englishtown shutdown area like the back of my hand. I spent more time in the Englishtown shutdown area than I spent in my own freaking house for years. Okay, so this is how I look at it. Okay, with something like a fuel car, every revolution of that, I know it's going to sound crazy, right? Every revolution of the crankshaft, right? Every revolution is an added liability. So I forget, we calculated out how many times they spin. It's only like 800 times. I forget exactly the exact number. But they only crankshaft only rotates about 800 times over the course of a run. So if you can eliminate, let's say, 100 rotations out of that. Well, yeah, you've cut your odds of catastrophic failure back by that percentage, if you want to think of it that way. Other than that, no, I don't really see how it made that much of a difference. Justin Billington, Sammy Miller used Englishtown with no problems, and he was way faster in the quarter. Yeah, but remember, Sammy's currently weighed about 1,400 pounds, like dripping wet. So with him in it, ready to go, fueled up. So that's didn't take much to stop that car.
Rex Restores. I'm building an 81C10, building a 350 for it, and I'm 15, and I need as much tips
as possible. Rex, welcome to what we do, man. I mean, tips is what we're about. Mm-hmm. I've done. There's about 1,300 videos of all different topics on my channel. He's got how many videos? Yeah, 12, 13 videos.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah, he's got videos on his channel, Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab, and then we do these lives every Wednesday night, so that you guys have a question or you want to talk about any of this stuff, clearer than you can pick up through a video.
Just
here
ask.
you are. Yeah, just ask. We got a really great community here, Rex, and all of these guys, 100% of the audience here, who would be more than willing to help a young guy learn or do whatever. You know what I mean? So don't be shy, and
And that's kind of like basic C10, 350 Chevy, like the easiest stuff.
Yeah, the most basic stuff in the world. You pick the right thing to get started with.
Right.
Rocco saying we're getting killed with ads tonight. I'm sorry. I got no control over what YouTube does. With that.
It's January. They're looking for revenue because all of the good Christmas revenue's gone.
Yeah, all of our revenue.
All our trust. Yeah,
please.
Yeah, we don't do this for profit. Not this month.
No, in January after I finish here, I go to the exit on the interstate with a cardboard sign.
Yeah.
January is a rough month to be a YouTuber.
Yeah. Puppies require ad revenue. How is the puppy?
She's awesome. She's
are you healed up or
well, you see, it's not nearly as bad.
Oh, okay.
It's not as bad. So yeah, we're getting there. Okay. But she's growing like a weed. I mean, she's like.
Does she like bully all the other dogs? Take all their food?
She bullies the other dogs. She takes all their food. She is the alpha.
She's gonna be 100 pound.
They were afraid to put her in her place, because I mean, dogs, they nip at each other. Yeah. That's how they.
And she got the little sharp little big puppy teeth. Yeah.
And they nip at her. And she don't care. She don't care. Yeah. They'll nip at her even where she yelps. Like they got the point across. Mm-hmm. She don't care.
Oh,
she don't care.
Turn right around and
she's all that shit, right? So yeah. she's gonna be a handful, but she's beautiful and she's smart and she's very affectionate. She's awesome. She really is. John Jones. UTG, I know I've asked before, but any chance we can get a cheap 6-pack setup video? I know the intakes aren't cheap. However, what carbs to pick, how to set them up in tune. I did something on that years ago, right? Years ago, I did a small block 6-pack setup using the Edelbrock manifold, which is the same as the factory used on the TA and the AR cars. And I used Ford carburetors, three 2300 series Ford carburetors. And those, the only functional difference between those and the 6-pack carburetors is the top of the, where the air cleaner goes. On the 6-pack carburetors, it's D-shaped. And on the Ford carburetors, they're round. Okay. So all you do is cut the round part off, and you've got the three carburetors will fit end to end just like they're supposed to on a 6-pack. And then the nice thing about that is that the setup that I put together, I used a 275 CFM carb from an Edsel, right? 57, 58, 59 Edsel. I forget what year it is. I had the first of that series carburetor. It was like 275 CFM. So I used one of those for the center, and then I used two 350s for the outboards, as opposed to the factory setup that's 350 in the center and 500 on the outboards. And the idea there was to use it on a 318 with the small port heads, just kind of trying to match the CFM to the flow capacity of the cylinder heads. But I'll do it again. I'll do another one eventually. But I just have so many other things to do first.
Punisher 506, he's got a Magnum that he wants to take his fuel injection off and carb it. Easy enough to do.
What I want to do is get a Magnum, okay? So, I know this is bad. You don't want to hear that. No, but actually, it's still near the computer for the ignition.
Yeah.
You still need the program. But what I wanted to do with a Magnum, right, is the throttle body. Okay, so you get the beer barrel intake manifold, okay?
Yeah.
The throttle body sits on the top, and the footprint and the bolt pattern to the throttle body is almost identical to the big block BBD 2-barrel. The one that they used on the 360s, the 3D3s,
the
the
bigger
400s.
BBD.
Yeah. It's almost exact, like where you can just drill 2 holes, tap them, and bolt that carburetor down on it. And I've wanted to do this for the longest time, but I just never have a Magnum at my disposal or one of those carburetors at the same time.
Yeah.
But why don't you try that, man, just to see what happens? Just
unplug the fuel injectors and.
Yeah, unplug the fuel injectors, okay, and bolt find a 362 barrel or a 402 barrel carburetor, okay. See what you have to do to bolt that to the top of the where the throttle body bolts. See how it runs. They say that those manifolds aren't so. When I looked at doing this originally, other people had considered the idea, and the common wisdom there was that the manifold's not designed. The runners are too long and curved and shit. They're not designed.
They're made for air.
They're made for air, but the Sonoramic Commandos ran just fine. Okay, and those things had huge runners that were like curved and all over the place, and they made stupid torque. So it's something that really needs to be tried. Charlie Roma has. Oh yeah, Charlie. On his 340, he's got 3 Hollies on an Edelbrock manifold, 500 hours on a 315. Yeah, that's the factory setup. Yeah. Jacob Bowman has a 360 Magnum. We'll have to try that. Try it. Then report back, man. Let's see. Serial 411. Can you do a video talking in detail about lessons you learned over the years parting out rides? Yes, I've done them. I've done videos like that. Early on, right? Early on in the channel. I can't remember the names of them, but if you search, they're there. Rick S. Question about water down the carbon trick. My Slant 6 runs rough. All adjustments are perfect, but head might never have been off. Do I need to do the trick? Also, will a good oil not be affected? No, oil's not going to affect it. If it's carbureted Slant 6, yeah, there's a good chance you got a good bit of it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt. So give it a shot. And no, it won't affect the oil at all. Unless the motor has no rings. Yeah.
Unless it's already smoking.
Yeah. If your engine runs shitty because it has no rings, then yes, all that water is going to go right in the crankcase.
Mm.
Greg Spring, thank you for the super chat. I could Google this, but you on art are on. Oh, jeez. Did Mopar make a 2-speed auto like a GM Power Glide? Yeah, Power Flight. Cast iron, early 1950s.
That thing's gonna weigh what, 300 pounds?
At least, yeah.
You get 2 men and a baby to pick it up and put it in, and
Rick, sorry, time. Another cylinder, not oil. No, man, try it. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt. Punisher saying Dead Dodge Garage did a video very briefly on a car on a car. Oh, I didn't know that. Jamie's really good, man.
Jamie does everything.
Jamie does everything. We watch Jamie's channel to learn stuff, and then we pick up from there. We come here.
Tuesday we just all 24 hours of Dead Dodge Garage, so we can come here and talk.
Exactly. I binge watch Dead Dodge Garage, memorize everything he's got to say, and here I am. But seriously, guys, if you're a Mopar person and you aren't aware of Jamie, Dead Dodge Garage, go over there, check his channel. Just sub. Don't even think about it. Just sub. It's well worth it.
Holy shit, Jimmy Loose.
Jimmy Loose, cutting loose with the $5. I got enough gas to get home now.
It now costs $150 to test and tune it from Oso.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus. It used to be 20 to watch, 25 to race.
Oh, man.
You're living in the wrong part of the country.
Seriously. Okay. Buffalo Valley is $10 to test and tune.
Yeah, $10.
$10.
Whether you want a spectator race, it's $10.
Right. Doesn't matter. Just show up, give them $10, and go ahead, whatever you want to do, right? And they don't discriminate. You go out there with a rocket car. They don't give a shit. $10.
Go karts, ATVs, 4x4s, doesn't matter.
Right. What's the other truck you go to? Etheridge. Etheridge is $25. Which, it's really pushing it, okay? But it's a great track.
It's a nice ass track.
It's one of the nicest tracks I've ever been to. It's a beautiful little facility. So, but yeah, you're the wrong part of the world, bro.
Yeah.
Charlie's saying it's $60 to test and tune at Island Dragway. Well, you know what? It's not the $60 on Island Dragway. How much does it cost you to go over those freaking bridges?
To get there.
Oh, man. I mean, years ago, man, back in the 90s, to go from Staten Island to Atco, 75 miles, used to cost me close to $100 in gas and tolls.
Oh, just to get out of the city and
to tow out there, yeah.
Yeah.
Not driving a car. Driving a car was much less, but to tow, because they charge you per axle, and I had a ramp truck, so they count. It's commie scumbag stuff.
You got 2 axles, but they count 4.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah, exactly. I got 2 axles, but you got 2 wheels on the back axle, right? It's a dually, so they count that as 2 axles.
But if it was a box truck and covered it, it'd be 2 axles.
To get the teenagers off the street. It ain't the teenagers you got to worry about, us old guys.
Yeah. We can afford the ticket. We don't really care.
Punisher 506 is saying, well, I will make a video on my Magnum build and post of my YouTube if you guys want to see whatever. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Get it done and then come here and post a link. Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons why we're here. Any of you guys that are working on a project, right? I know a lot of people don't want other people to, a lot of channels don't like other people to promote their stuff in. No, it's the exact opposite. If you're working on something, if you've got something on your channel that's neat that you want to get some views on, it pertains to this, you know what I mean? Like there's just a world like automotive tech, or just cars in general, right? By all means, feel free to post a link and a description of the video you want the guys here in this audience to watch. And that goes for everybody. That goes for everybody, you know?
He said only a mod can post a link.
Only a mod can post a link?
But you can,
Okay, well, but
get a hold of Mexican Spec, say, hey, here's.
Yeah, Mexican Spec or a FUBAR, a Zero isn't tonight, but just, let one of the mods know that that's what you want to do.
Here's my channel, here's the video, can you post a link?
Yeah.
And go for it. Yeah, you said one of us mods could do it for you. Not a big deal.
Bradenton is 20 to spectate plus 10 for a tech card. Yeah, that's about.
Yeah.
Bradenton's a great track. I used to go there every year for the snowbirds. I don't even know if they have that anymore. Fun with cars sounds like something you would do. Anyone ever do any carbon fiber? You ever make any carbon fiber?
No. That's for fancy people with money.
But you could make it.
Yeah, you can make it just like you're making a fiberglass part.
Yeah.
So, but no, don't really care about it that much.
Yeah, I'm not that. You have to be operating at another level beyond where we are to really think about carbon fiber.
Most of my junk would look funny on it with carbon fiber.
Yeah, I was in the carbon fiber world 30 years ago, and not anymore. Rob 82. I dabble in cardboard fiber.
Cardboard fiber, yeah, it's more like it. Clatra. Oh, what? 67 Mustang 394 speed, 3.0 rear end. I'm turning 2750 at 70 miles an hour. What would be a safe, sustained highway RPM all stock engine? That on a 390.
Yeah. That. No, those engines are all designed. All of the engines from the 60s, right? I say all of them. The vast majority of them are intended to operate between like 2,500 and like 4,000 RPM on the highway for days and days and days on end. That's why the stuff is as beefy as it is, because that's what it was intended for. It's just,
highway cruisers.
Highway cruiser, right? Back then, 3.0 gears, 320 gears were completely normal. They cruise at 70 miles an hour, 3,000 RPM, and they would do it for like
all day.
Yeah, unlimited, just go. Mm-hmm. So that's what it's designed for. Today, because everybody's used to overdriven and lockup converters and stuff like that, and cruising at low RPM, when you drive an older car, it just seems like
it's singing. Yeah.
Right.
But it's just, yeah.
It's more perception than reality.
That's Jeff R. That's a good question.
Yes.
Why don't the manufacturers remove some of the divider on a dual plane manifold? ? Is there a benefit to separate planes?
The higher performance manifolds all do, right? They'll have a little notch in the divider. On a lot of the manifolds, they'll use a thick gasket. Okay, and the thick gasket is open in the center, and that ties the plenums together. It just equalizes the two halves. Why don't they do it? I don't know, but I've seen manifolds, factory manifolds that did have notches and deliberate spaces incorporated so that there was a little bit of a give and take between the two halves.
Edie Cobra guy. Can I use Teflon tape on my head studs? No. At the point where they're tight in the engine block, having trouble with an old small block Chevy 400 that keeps leaking from the studs. I did put on the Delco tabs. And
I wouldn't.
I
Oh,
wouldn't use
man.
tape. You can use thread sealer.
Yes. Yeah. Pipe dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thread sealer pipe dope. It's you can buy it just like you buy, yeah, but not the tape. No one, the tape is for like fuel line connectors or something. Yeah, water. You don't use it in the oil and stuff like that. No, use the thread sealer.
Pipe dope will do the job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are the studs that you're using? I'm sure they're shouldered. Is the shoulder meeting the deck? Like when you tighten it down, is the shoulder of the stud actually meeting the deck? Because that's an important thing too. Now here's a situation that I've come across. Okay, where the deck isn't chamfered. So what they'll do is you go to a machine shop, right? And let's say they cut it, they take a cut off the surface of the deck. If they don't chamfer the holes, they're supposed to chamfer the holes just to keep them from breaking out when the head bolts are tightened. But if you've got a shouldered stud that is supposed to seat down into the chamfer and you don't have a chamfer, it's not going to seal. And you can make a chamfer just with a drill bit. Just get an oversized drill bit. And just,
Yeah.
Professor Gibbs is saying anti-seize will also stop the leaking. Yeah, but anti-seize can also be washed out, bro. Alan Schildroth, what is a good definition of the sound a camshaft lope makes?
You have to walk up. You have to go into the forest and walk up to a wild hog and grab it by the balls.
Well, okay, he's probably right. I think that the word I hear used the most is chop.
Yeah.
How do I get a good chop? Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never really.
Wood for sound.
Well, it's not that I never went for sound. I really haven't gone for sound, but I never really tried to describe it. It's weird. I've just used the word lope.
Yeah. And yeah.
But never really anything descriptive. I think chop is the most common word that I see used. How do I get my car to make some chop?
Yeah. Well, you put a cam with too much overlap in it. It runs like shit.
Yeah, 104-degree center line.
Yeah.
Lopes like that.
Yeah.
Rumpity rumpy. Yeah. Yes, Rocco. Chrysler did write it up phonetically in an ad for the. What was that for? It was one of the 1969 ads that were done by Young and Rubicam, and it was it for the Roadrunner? No, it wasn't for the Roadrunner. It was for the Cuda. It was for the Cuda 3.4.
Okay.
Take care of them.
All right, he's off on a tangent again. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to look this ad up.
Jacob Bonham, my dyno guy, did a video on YouTube, and he's very much against the chop. He says you'll lose power in the modern engine. Yep. Yeah, the guys that buy the cam for chop that's just the overlap, and it's bad, especially because then you're messing with injection timing, and if you got a blower or a turbo or anything on it, you're just pushing everything right out the exhaust. I don't like it. Get a cam that makes the engine run good.
There it is. Okay, was this a generic Plymouth ad? It wasn't. It wasn't for the Roadrunner. It was. So this is how. Okay, so you wonder how people become like hooked on Mopars, right? Like especially like when you're young, and it just never leaves you. You get to like be ancient fossils like me, and it's like I still love this shit, right? This is legitimately an advertisement that Chrysler ran in 1969. Okay, this is the sum total of the ad. I'm trying to give you guys a chance to read that because that's a ad for the Plymouth Rapid Transit System. We should get somebody to come on here and act that out.
Interpretive dance of a camshaft.
Yes.
Okay. Carter's Custom Creations ordered a ballast resistor for a 67 Mustang that had been in the middle of restoration. A lot of parts are missing. Got a resistor wire. Is it supposed to run from the ignition switch to the coil?
You're not supposed to have a ballast resistor on that car, just a resistor wire.
It's a pink resistor wire.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. So you have two positions in the ignition switch. Okay. There's start and run. Okay. When it's in the start position, you're taking power from the starter relay. It's mounted on the passenger side fender well. Okay. When it's in the run position, you're taking direct battery voltage and sending it to the coil.
Through the switch.
Through this, right. Then when you let go of that and it goes just to the run position, then you run through the resistor wire. There is no external.
There's not on the Ford, and they do that if you still got all the intact wiring in your '67 Mustang, which is probably improbable.
Yeah.
Because they want that 12 volts off the starter relay for starting.
Right.
And then once it runs it, you just go. It runs at about 9.
Yeah, and on GM cars of the same era, they had that same system. Okay, but it was instead of it being remote mounted, it was actually on the starter solenoid. So if you remember, like you got an old Chevy starter, right, and it has the 3 posts, and you only use the one in the center that the battery goes to, and the one that goes to the inside closest to the block that the key signal goes to. There's one that's bare. The one that's bare is actually the start circuit. So in the original wiring, when there were points cars, that system went. That outer wire on the starter was 12 volts to the coil, and then when you let go of the key and the Bendix kick back, it would cut that circuit off, so you'd be running off the resistor wire to the. Did I say that right? Jesus Christ, I don't even.
Yeah, I mean, got the gist of it.
If it was confusing, I'm sorry. I'll try it again. Let's see. Power Toys, the only Ford accomplishment putting the solenoid on the fender.
Well, Chrysler did that too, but kind of on the firewall, or depending on,
At least Ford put it in a predictable place.
Where you could get to it and change it.
Yeah.
Jump it real easy. Yeah. Corey Connect. I'm seeing a lot of XJs for sale in my local Facebook marketplace. I wonder why. It's yeah, no Chevettes though. They're for the rich people crap now.
Not yet.
I was gonna when you did that video. I'm like, I was still my brain couldn't calculate why anyone would pay $30,000 for a Chevette. I don't care if it was gold plated. Those cars were just turds new.
Yeah,
we laughed at people when they bought them. The poor people bought them, you know.
But wait, did you read through the comments? There's a lot of comments on that video.
No, I didn't read through the comments.
You should read through the comments because it's pretty eye-opening, right? Half the people that comment on that car say exactly the same thing you just said.
Okay.
The other half say the exact opposite.
Born after 1990.
It's not something where they were born. They remember them as being cheap, reliable, fun cars. I made a statement about them not having a cult following. I was wrong. Evidently, in some parts of the world, they race these things. They have race series that are only Chevettes.
Because they're rear drive.
Yeah, it just fits the program, whatever it is. But in that video, there's both sides. I hated it. It was a piece of shit. I can't believe it. It even drove off the showroom floor to other people like, I couldn't kill it. I got passed down from relative to relative.
Well,
and it
that
just
just
kept
depends
going.
where they lived to. If they lived in the south,
A lot of it has
it
to
was,
do
it was
with,
probably did it. You lived up north, they didn't go through snow, and then 2 years later, there was nothing left to it from the rust.
yeah.
So
That's how I remember them too. Rust on that in New York.
yeah, just they painted the brown on top to match the bottom after 6 months.
Justin Billington, Tony, Dr. Art, on a Mopar electronic ignition system with a little bit of rust on the reluctor, or too large a gap cause a weak spark on a cylinder. I have good grounds and a new ignition box. Rust, no. It doesn't care about rust. The gap is supposed to be 8,000ths of an inch. You can go out to maybe 12 thousandths, and then at that point it'll start to kind of miss. It won't want to spark at certain RPMs, but the correct gap on that is 5 to 8 thousandths.
So check that.
So check that, but rust won't.
Yeah, clean up the rust if it makes you feel
knock
better,
the rust off it,
and
but
then readjust.
it won't hurt it.
Oh, see, you get the Chevette lovers that pop in as we
Yeah,
excoriate them. Yeah,
both. You get both ends of the spectrum. Barry Kuda, everyone happy with the new president? I am happy with the new director of the FBI.
Yeah.
That's all I'm concerned with. I don't care about anything else. All of the fireworks are going to be surrounding Kash Patel.
Mm-hmm.
Mark my words. It's going to be very,
very interesting. Yeah, there was never a Chevette in a showroom ever. No, because the dealers were put them things outside. We have Corvettes and things we want to put in here.
Let's see.
Punisher 506 73 Charger. My old man has a 362 barrel, has low oil pressure, and makes a knock when warm, thinking the pump. But thoughts?
Not usually.
That's just clearance.
Yeah.
Foreign parts.
All right. So here's okay. You have a possibility, of course, of just excessively worn clearances inside the engine, excessively worn bearings. The pump itself, the rotor and the gear in the pump, right? The best lubricated part of the engine, okay? They don't go bad. They can get gouged up, they can have all kinds of marks. They don't go bad, right? They'll always, if they're spinning, they will always put out enough pressure to run the engine, okay? Now here's how you tell, okay? If the part of the pump that goes bad is the bypass. The bypass is what regulates maximum pressure. So if the bypass is set to go off at, let's say, 60 psi, when you start the engine and it's cold and you give it gas, instead of the oil pressure going to 100, 150 and blowing the oil filter off, the pressure is only allowed to go to 60. Now, what does happen sometimes is a little bit of grit or dirt will get into the bypass and hang it open. And so at idle, you'll have no oil pressure, right? It'll just sit there with zero, okay? But as soon as you give it gas, like any gas at all, like oil pressure gauge, if you have a gauge, it will just jump up. So that's the only way that a pump can go bad, and it's rare. More likely you have a clogged screen, which is entirely possible, especially something that age. A clogged screen, take the oil pan down and take a look at it, or just excessively worn clearances inside the engine. Did I say that right?
Yes. You did. You were there the whole time.
I need you to do that. I really do.
You were there the whole time. I was watching. Now, I'm interested if there's any Chevettes for sale. And I'm just going to maybe, I don't know, maybe you're just too old for this.
Made Muscle saying if Chevettes are the hot commodity now, what's the next GM? Chevettes are not a hot commodity. It was a fluke, but it's an indication of a trend. Okay, it's not that every Chevette that comes along is going to be worth $30,000. It's the fact that cars like that are ending up at auctions, and people with money are taking notice of them. That's the important thing. Okay, not that it was a Chevette, not that it went for $30,000. It's the fact that cars like that ended up at a place like Mecca, and it caught the attention of at least two money buyers that sent it up to $33,000. That's the important thing. Not that it was a Chevette. Could have been a Toyota Tercel. Could have been a Volkswagen Rabbit.
Two guys wanted it with money.
Right. Okay. And that overperformed. The Chevette overperformed at the same event that muscle cars, traditional collector cars, were underperforming. See, so that's the important thing. That's what people don't quite understand. They're all hung up on it being a Chevette, but that's not the issue. That's not the thing. It's an indication of a trend.
What another thought when I seen that, we're going to stick on the Chevette thing, then we'll put it away. That's got to be the greatest way to launder money. Do it publicly.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's two guys. They got $1,000 Chevette. They have it detailed. Guy B buys it for 30 grand. Guy, takes
Right.
the profit. Yeah, they wash the money.
Yeah, make sure you keep a close eye on the spare tire.
Yeah.
Make sure you take the spare tire home with you. Corey Connect, I'm telling you, the Chevy Citation is the next dollar maker. Those were rough cars, man. The X body, right?
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Pacers are bringing good money. They've been for a couple of years. Again, indication of a trend.
Mm-hmm.
Firefly is saying the cheapest cars at the Meckham Auto Auction were 57 Corvettes. Guess the rich people finally got tired of them. Yeah, I could see those things running their course. Did Zero pop in? I think I just saw Zero. Yes, there he is.
Yeah.
Zero, welcome, brother. We didn't cover any interesting topics in anticipation of you getting here, so now we let it fly.
Mm-hmm.
Drep face. That's not your birth name, is it?
Yeah.
Been seeing a spike in Malay's car appreciation. Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes no because I lived through those cars. And it was just like, but now they're, I want a Volare and I wanted this. And it's like, okay, cool.
They were horrible cars.
Well,
it was a depressing time to be a car person.
It was. And I can kind of see the point for the younger people that grew up, everything was a blob. So you have something that's weird and quirky and looks a little different. They're like, I like that.
Yeah.
But we grew up when cars had chrome and big fenders. And
I think the big thing, right, is I'm telling you, there's a serious growing backlash against technology over tech, and I think at this stage of the game, okay, for the people who've been driving touchscreen cars for the last like 15 years that they've been out, right, the appeal, right, regardless of the make of car, right, or the features of the car, is going to be real knobs and real dials and real switches. I'm telling you, that's going to be like okay. When the muscle car thing got started, right? It was, of course, Hemi cars and LS6s and Boss 429s, right? All of those, the high end cars. But the things that really sold muscle cars were scoops and wings and the bright colors and all of the trappings of it.
Decals
Right?
and all that shit. Yeah.
Right. So now what you're going to find is the gingerbread that sells collector cars is going to be analog controls, right? Things that aren't a touch screen, things that aren't digitized, gauges with actual needles and stuff like that, or just simple idiot lights, right? The idiot light was something back in the day that we were just,
Yeah.
but just a simple oil pressure or a temperature idiot light and nothing else. That's the kind of stuff that people can be looking for. And I know this for a fact. Let's see. Scoop is saying they were hiring people to drive the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile around the country. Oh, dude, I would have loved a job like that when I was like younger.
Yeah. Your only job was just to drive the Wienermobile.
The Wienermobile. Come on, it's the Wienermobile.
It's a chick magnet. It's a rolling phallic. Yeah.
Just for the sake of driving a Wienermobile. I mean, that's the kind of thing I would. I mean, to this day, if you told me I could take a cruise in the Wienermobile, I'd be like
okay.
over that shit.
Yeah, let's go.
I'd rather drive the Wienermobile than a Pro Stocker, and I am not exaggerating even the slightest bit. The Lumina, yeah, those were bad cars. Those were bad cars.
55 grand for driving a Wienermobile.
Granny's Blue Waffle is late as usual. No, we were early.
Yeah.
And that's why we only have 161 likes. That's why only 161 people approve of what we've done here so far.
I wonder why I was violent with you.
Yeah, right? I know. He's trying to strangle me in anticipation of such a disappointing approval of what we do. Joe K, the Lumina came out to compete with the Taurus. Now, I betcha you get really clean Survivor Tauruses, which don't exist.
Right.
It's an extinct car.
Right.
The Taurus and like the Mercury Sable were everywhere.
They sold more of those than freaking t-shirts.
The repair and the parts industry existed because of the Taurus, right? I was there at that period of time. Literally every other car you worked on was some variation of the Taurus, right? And then there was everything else, and they're extinct, completely extinct. So a couple of Joe K saying a couple of SHOs pop up every now and then. But you come up with like a really clean, like like a Taurus wagon or something like that. That's just like the epitome of like
just a regular 3-liter
Suburbia,
V6.
right? Yeah. It would, I bet you, bring some money.
Those things sold like crazy. You just go outside and we want a Taurus! Yay!
They were everywhere, and I hated those cars.
I made so much money in those cars.
The Taurus, yeah, I know. So did I. I made a fortune off of them, but they were such a pain in the ass. When they changed the nose on it.
To the Space Boogie nose?
And the radiator, remember what we had to do to change the radiator on one of those? Because it went from a simple, straightforward thing. I remember.
Yeah, it's just a square car, like a 94, 95 Taurus, perfect car. And then the 96, they go boom buggy. And then.
All I know is I remember pricing that job out to somebody, like, whatever the radiator is, like $40. Because it used to take, like literally like 10 minutes.
10 minutes
So I was like, okay, $40 to swap out your radiator. And they brought me a white, whatever the year was, it had the new revised nose. And it was a freaking, and it was one of the 30 V6s. So it was
plenty of room, but
no room. Everything was all jammed in the front. Yeah. Oh, please, what a disaster that was.
The worst part about those Tauruses, the freaking power steering pump pulley was that composite thing that exploded on you when you looked at it wrong as you're working on a car. I got a scar from one of them fucking things as it blew up.
Donna has a 96 Sable. Nice. Used to be my grandma's and only has about 50,000 miles on it
Oh,
currently.
yeah. Cash that puppy in, man. Get a wax job, take it to the auction.
Corgi Connect is checking out. Good night, Corgi.
See ya.
Corgi. Mexican spec bought a new Taurus wagon in '97 in dark red. I never liked them, man. I never liked anything about those cars. I hated the way they rode. They were so numb. Everything was that was the thing. Like, do you remember that?
Yeah.
The Taurus was numb, literally numb, and they would wheeze, right? all Fords wheezed in that period of time, right? But the Taurus really felt like you were disconnected from everything, and just they would wallow.
Yeah, they tried to make it look like a ride like a baby Lincoln, and so you didn't feel the steering, you didn't feel the brakes, you didn't feel nothing.
I hated those, and the transmissions were always programmed to like drag the shift out. God forbid there was any overlap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it's just like. Ford had V8 Tauruses in the mid '90s.
Yeah, the SHOs.
No, it was V6. The SHO was the Yamaha cylinder head.
They had 8s and 6s. Different.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Brendan Bernard, any way to adjust the TPS on a V6 S10?
What year is it? Did they say or no? I didn't see that.
Jacob Bowman, did I quit smoking? Yes, I quit. I quit a couple of weeks ago. I feel much better. I feel much better.
Johnny K was watching your Gambler 500 Valiant vids, gave me the idea to do a modern version of the Crown Vic body and a third, fourth Gen Ford Explorer, other than matching the wheelbase and track with. Any tips?
Well, just so you know, that became Slaghammer. I gave up on the Gambler 500 thing and went like just street freak gasser with it. There's a lot of people who do. I see the Crown Vic often set up for that sort of thing. I don't think you have to. No, I don't bother with the Ford Explorer swap.
Just jack up the Crown Vic.
Just jack up the Crown Vic. I see. There's a guy in my neighborhood that has one like that. I see him driving it around. He's got like it's as jacked up as it can be. And he's got like 31-inch tall tires on the thing, and it looks pretty badass, honestly.
So yeah, you can put a 32, 33-inch mud tire in them, no problem.
Yeah, you don't have to go. You don't have to go nuts with that. What was this? Okay, Tony quit smoking as much as Scotty dies. Yeah, well, no, that's not true. He dies more often than I smoke. Rocco says nicotine kills nanobots. So I've heard. And Mike Boger was saying you can definitely lift the Crown Vic enough for 31s.
Yeah, easy. Yeah. Let's have the first discussion first.
First, bring back the division, then bring back the random car from the division.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dave ML, can you start a auto transmission with no drive shaft? Don't let it freewheel. You should not. You should never let an automatic transmission freewheel. There should always be some kind of load against it. If it's in park and you just want to circulate some fluid, yeah, you'd be fine. Okay. Although it is going to leak something out of the tail shaft, almost definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Get the back of the car jacked up as high as you can to get the fluid to all go to the front of the pan. and then you're going to minimize how much is going to come out the tail shaft. But yes, you can, but do it in park. Don't ever let an automatic transmission free wheel. This is for you, Joe's Mopar mess. I can relate. Is there a brand of wiring harness you recommend?
No.
Why?
I make my own.
Yeah, same here. I wire my own stuff.
If you're not into that and stuff like that, you just go with the painless kits because they're kind of monkey proof. That their wires are labeled all the way through the 8 feet of wires to the taillights and stuff like that. But yeah, most of the stuff, even like on the older cars, there's 4 wires for the taillights and 2 for the headlights. We just make our own.
Now, I tell you what, you really have to worry about the quality. You have to be aware of the quality on those wires. So here's the thing with these, right? I last year, and I think I did a video on it. I'm not sure if I did a video on it or not. Last year, I had a harness, right? One of the pigtail harnesses that comes from the same wiring manufacturers that they make the harnesses out of, overseas. I'm not talking about the people who assemble them. I'm talking about where they source the actual materials from. So I had a new, let's say a year old pigtail harness for a trailer plug. And suddenly I had no lights. I had no trailer lights. And I went nuts from one end to the other, trying to find why I couldn't get, there was no circuit there, right? Finally, I touched the harness and I noticed that the lights flickered. And I was like, that's weird. It's all brand new. There's no reason for that to happen. So I peeled it away. I found one of the wires that when I pushed it, it went, okay, so bad connection inside the wire, right? It's a fluke. Well, I cut the wire and it was dust inside. The copper had turned to dust. There was only like maybe 1 or 2 strands on all of them that made the connection still, and the rest of it was dust. And it was like, I'm going to say like a 4-inch section of the wire that was internally rotting. So that's one of the reasons why I have a hard time recommending any aftermarket harness, because that's the quality of wire that you're getting from overseas.
Because there's a reason the whole engine harness is $70 from.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Jeff Hutchins is saying put a cut-off plastic bottle around the tail housing on the slip yoke transmission and the hose. Okay, that's a good idea. How do wires rot internally? That's what. Well, it had to be some acid from the left over or excessive from the manufacturing process. Water didn't get in there. There was some corrosive on the actual copper or copper
that
derivative.
Never got cleaned off.
That never got cleaned off, or just a really bad mix of something that started to attack itself. So it was like cancer. It was just cancer inside the wire. Ed, let's pronounce that there. Cucurella. Ed Cucurella.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good name, bro. Always loved the Cutlass Supremes and the Delta 80. It's front wheel drive when I was a dealer with tech. Those are tough cars, man.
Mm-hmm.
Those are tough cars. Let's see. Zip Zang Gaming. Any suggestions on good wire companies? I need to rewire my entire truck. I can't recommend. I'm not saying that there aren't any good ones, but I can't recommend any because I don't know.
Yeah. Neither of us would ever really probably buy a harness.
Yeah, exactly. I'd go by wire, and I'm rolling the dice just the same way everybody else is. I don't have any inside tips or tricks on how to choose a good length of wire. I do hoard old wire though. If it's in good condition, if it's not brittle and
I have boxes in the garage.
boxes, right?
I have a
Yeah.
shelf of good wire. Yeah.
Yep. Uh, let's see. Firefly. Old trick I used to find nicks in wires was to isolate the circuit, hook it up to a capacitance meter. The other meter lead to ground and run your finger down the wire insulation while touching ground.
You can find it that way.
Yeah, except the wire in my situation didn't have any nicks. It was looked perfectly normal from the outside. It wasn't until I cut it that I saw what was the condition of the wire inside. Berserk 111. It's so refreshing to see a Mopar channel. I'm not a Mopar channel, Berserk. I have Mopars. I love Mopars, but I'm not really a Mopar channel. And he's definitely not a Mopar channel.
No. And and all of last summer's content was over a stupid Dodge pickup truck.
Well, yeah. So maybe you are a Mopar channel. Oh, but Berserk, Dead Dodge Garage. That's our buddy Jamie. He's you want a Mopar channel? He's a good Mopar channel. Well, I'm more of a general interest channel. I'm more like a video car magazine, because I touch on a lot of different topics. We go off on a lot of different directions. Where Jamie is really just a Mopar guy.
And he is a hoarder when he has random shots inside his garage.
He's got a lot of stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
But that's the way I used to be when I was his age. I used to have, I was always like that. And I just, as I got older, I'm like, no, I'll never use this. I'll never get to this. I can't deal with the clutter. Hot Rod Cabbie, thinking of nearly extinct cars, 1970s Chevy Monza. My mom had one new with the 4-banger auto in a town coupe. The town coupe was weird looking, right? But man, I remember. How old are you?
Very.
So do you remember when the Monza came out?
Yeah.
Do you remember how like outer space that thing was?
Yes, one of my sister's boyfriends had one of those. And yeah, it was like a weird Vega.
Yeah.
And it was fine, but when they wear out, they wear out, and they're just next.
They made beautiful race cars though. The thing about the Monza was they looked so sophisticated. They looked so futuristic, but underneath there was just, like it was a tin can. There was really no substance to those cars. But man, they made the most beautiful race car bodies.
Clayton's Toolbox. At what point do you need a high volume oil pump? I went to use the standard pump to reduce horsepower loss. My car will rev to 7K and has loose bearing clearances.
That's when you need a high volume oil pump. Higher performance engines are built with looser tolerances. Higher RPM motors are built with looser tolerances. And also the drain back issues, because it takes a while for oil to drain back. So forget about drain back issues. That has nothing to do with it. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. You use a high volume oil pump when you've got an engine with larger clearances, larger main clearances.
There you go.
A weird Vega with factory V8. I still have to this day, I have a socket that I fabricated. There's a 5/8 socket with a swivel, but a regular 5/8 deep socket and a swivel won't work there. So I have one that I fabricated specifically for those cars. When I was a kid, for some reason, I still have that socket.
Mm-hmm. Is there a product to soften brittle wire to preserve it from cracking?
That's a good question. None that I can think of.
Not that I know of. Anything that would, yeah.
Power Toys is saying race car Corvairs are awesome. I always thought the Corvair was one of the most beautiful cars, and especially the last generation. Just Beautiful, beautiful cars. Nobody else seemed to like them though.
My dad liked those.
I love them. I love them.
He had two of them. He had a 4-door and then he had a wagon.
Okay.
And then
Corvette wagons.
in the wagon, the story is because it was a manual. He was on a date with my mother, and they were waiting at a train track. And while the train was going by, they got distracted, and the car rolled, and the train took the front end.
Oh, no, fool.
That was the story I was always told. I don't know if it's worth it, but it's, why let the truth get in the way of a good story? So,
like I always like the 67 through 9 CUDA notchbacks better than the fastbacks because they resemble the Corvairs.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Doug, I accidentally became a Mopar guy after I acquired 5 Mopar cars. That'll do it.
That'll do it.
They get under your skin, man. Boomer is saying soak wires liberally to soften the insulation. Soak wires liberally with canola oil or palmolive dish soap. Oh, I'm going to try that. Huh. Okay. Okay. Canola oil or palmolive dish soap. Power toy slant 6 in the front of a Corvair. I don't think it would fit.
No, in the back seat maybe, like they did the V8 Corvair conversions. I would drive one of them.
Yeah, they would put in Tornado.
Oh, the whole
Yeah.
those. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a popular swap, like in the late '60s, early '70s. They were putting Tornado drivetrains in the back of Corvairs.
Yeah, I've seen guys take out the back seat and put a 350 and
Yeah, I've seen
build
that
a
too.
wall and stuff like that. Yeah, and that would be fun.
Max Sullivan is saying the Corvair side loading pickup ramp was a thing of beauty. They were very innovative cars. They were cool cars.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Queso and an Eldorado swap.
Same thing. Yeah.
Rocco, did I remember the dog treats last week? How can I think of dog treats? I please, my life it revolves around dog treats these days. Eric Swenson, what do I think of the Dodge Dynasty? Yeah, no.
It was weird. They had like a low hood line but a big roof, and yeah, it was.
Yeah. Let's see. Michael Mello, how did the flux core repair hold up on the red block? It's yellow now, and it's in the Belvedere, and I've run it several times, heating and cooling cycles, and it's held up good. I haven't actually taken out and beat on it yet, but if it's not leaking now, it's probably not going to leak.
Tony Bakke, I'm building a Schnotty 318 based on a ton of your videos. Thanks.
Oh, Troy Bake.
Troy.
Yes. Yeah. Good luck with it, man. They were a lot of fun. A lot of fun engines. I got to put the one back together with Bottle Rock. I just reassembled the head last night. I got to drop it back on the engine. Let's see. Javen, the Dynasty was just in New York with Let's Do This. Yeah, something like that. I'm just not a big fan. I like the early K cars. Even before the what was the first of those things?
The Aries K.
Before the Aries K, what the hell was it with the Horizon, the Omni and the Horizon? What
Were those first? Were the
those
boxes?
weren't K cars. They were what body was the Omni and the Horizon? I'm completely drawing a blank over here. I liked those cars a lot. N body, thank you. Yeah. Oh, Ron Ward's here. Turismo, yes. I had a 2.2 Charger, 5-speed. Was it 82? I guess 83. I don't know, whatever the first year for those things was. I had one of those for a month or so.
They were fun for their day.
They were great little cars. I used it to commute. You know what I mean? That's what I was doing in the magazines. Let's see. Jeff R. Tony, are you putting a carb on Mad Maxine? Yes. Yes. I'm going to do a whole video on that. I've got a couple of days. We'll have a video on that. 4-speed Reliant wagon. Yeah, they were around. You will never hear me say anything bad about those cars, those early front wheel drive Chryslers. I really, really like them.
Because they just went. They were just.
They were simple. They were simple
Just
cars.
a simple.
They were basics.
Yeah.
What?
Robert Bray.
Does she play? Does Kathy Bananas play bingo on Wednesday? No, she goes to the dog club on Wednesday.
Have you taken the puppy to the dog club yet?
Not yet. She still needs one more shot.
Oh, before she could be around.
Yeah, before she'd be able to run dogs.
Okay.
Let's see. Eric Swenson, I always confused the Dodge Omni for a Volkswagen Golf. No, it wasn't the Golf, it was the Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was like a direct copy. The original Omni was like a direct copy of the Rabbit.
Those little Rabbits were the same thing. Just
They were good
little
cars.
basics, little
They were good cars. That's like the last of the really good Volkswagens.
And if you had two guys, you go to the back of that thing and on the bumper and bounce it and move it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Volkswagen Scirocco?
Yeah.
That was a cool car.
It was. I got a Scirocco story.
Do you?
Yes.
Well, let's hear it.
Way back in the when, I was working for a car dealer, and they had Volkswagen lines, so they had a used Scirocco, and they gave that to me to take home for the night.
Okay.
Well, somehow my girlfriend's cat got into the Scirocco and went under the seat and would not come out. So I had to sawzall the seat out of the Scirocco and bring it back to the dealer the next day and go, thanks.
It would have been easier to just take the bolts out.
It was like a up north car. It was not happening.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was an older Scirocco. I'm picturing like
it
a new
was
Scirocco.
like a 3-4-year-old car.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no taking the seats up, the stupid cat. So it was.
Joseph Smale Jr. Off topic. Just joined. Is the Plan Z Dart still around? Perhaps on the back burner. The car itself is gone. Right. I sold that to
Polito.
Shane Polito. So he's got that, and he's doing something with the car. I kept the motor, right, and the other important parts. And my plan is to do something with it. But what happened was between then and now, I've found this brand new infatuation with the Jeep 4-liter. And I'm up to my eyeballs in Jeep 4-liters. And we even have a drag car, Mission Improbable, which is going way faster than you could imagine a stock Jeep could go. So I mean, honestly, it's like, yeah, I have an affection for the Slant Six, but my real interests now are with the Jeep motor. Firefly, are you a flat earther, feral? I've had my feral moments. Are you a flat earther? No, I'm not a flat earther, but I also don't necessarily believe the accepted. I'm neither. I'm neither. I don't know. Right? That's what I am. I don't know.
You don't know?
What? If it's a flat Earth or a globe or
Yeah.
a ball, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, how would we actually know?
We wouldn't.
Right.
But I mean,
So
I've been up
I
in,
don't
I've been up in
know.
planes high enough to see curve of the Earth.
In certain places, you can see a curve, and in other places, you can't see a curve.
You gotta be up high enough.
I've seen both ways. Now, I'm not saying either way,
Yeah.
right? I mean, yes, it could be a ball. I don't know, right? I've come to the point where I've had so much of our accepted history, or so much of
It's bullshit.
bullshit. It's total bullshit.
Bullshit.
That I've gotten to the point now that I don't
Believe
believe
anything.
anything. Okay, if I swear to God, okay, if it's in a history book, if it's taught in schools, if it's I've come to the point where I've realized that there's nothing that conventional science is believable. I've just gotten to that point. So I don't know what shape the Earth is. I don't know how the solar system works. I have no clue, and I don't have enough years left in my life to try to figure it out. So I'll just be content with I don't know. And the same thing goes with the whole simulation theory, and I don't know. Uh, Dave ML, stock pump power glide transmission. What size AN lines to run for the cooler? Fours should be fine.
Yeah.
6 is too much. You'll never use a 6. Oh, fireflies. I'm sorry. I thought you were asking me, brother. I say the flat Earth question was for another chatter. Okay.
Okay. Well, sometimes it happens.
All right, but I stand by my answer. I don't know. Uh, Oliver saying apparently a bunch of flat earthers went to Antarctica and freaked out about the sun not going down. I don't know. I don't know, Olive. I just don't. Also, Ron Ward is saying, since you don't know for sure about the solar system, what can you share that you know for certain about Christ Helima? The turd.
It's a turd.
The universe presented us with a turd in the form of the Christ Helima.
Here's a shit sandwich. Who would you like it, hot
Yeah.
or cold?
It was the universe testing us.
Mm-hmm.
Feral. Okay, I am a realm earther. Okay, feral, that's very interesting because I agree with that. I'm a realm earther. Earth is certainly not a spinning supersonic ball with a pressurized atmosphere adjacent to a vacuum. I I'm with you on the realm part because I've seen enough uh, uh, evidence that there are different planes of existence at work. Enough empirical evidence for me to say fairly certainly that there are different levels, different planes, or different realms, and yeah, we occupy a certain realm. But beyond that, I can't. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm a mechanic. I'm a mechanic. I make YouTube videos. Patrick Wilson is saying some have never met a conspiracy theory they didn't like. Dude, I've been going down conspiracy rabbit holes for 25 years, and it seems that all of the ones from 25 years ago have come true over the last several years, are in the process of working through right this very minute. So, yeah. Tony Art 2028. Yeah, we can run.
Sure.
I'm down with that. I have enough skeletons in my closet to keep the media.
The media
busy.
just
Yeah.
enthralled for years.
Yeah, they could focus on me, and you could be like the straight guy.
Just walked right through until they looked and they went, "Oh, the fuck is this guy been up to?" In the space-time continuum, we are a bad Earth.
Yeah, like I said, I don't. It's beyond my level of comprehension. I think it's beyond. I don't think humans are wired to perceive different levels. It's like there are certain colors that we can't see, but certain types of birds can. Or what I'm saying. We're not programmed to work in that range or that realm. Power toys. Are you religious at all? No. No, there are no rituals that I subscribe to. Well, Ron is saying skeletons on the closet can be eradicated with nitromethane and pilot lights. True story.
Get you right out of the laundry room and.
I told you about that one, right? I blew myself up in the laundry room.
Mm-hmm.
Tony worships the pentastar. I don't worship anything. Bye EV mandate. Yes, Juice Boys Juice box. bye EVs.
Yeah, all these spend all these billions of dollars. Now they're like, oh, well, throw that in the ass and bring back the gas cars.
It is so satisfying to see this whole
because
thing.
we've both seen this for 10, 12 years, and it's going to just go the way of the diesel.
Out of the Paris Climate Accord.
Yeah, right?
Bye, commies. See you, commies. All of the subsidies for the EV mandates, right? Like bye, right?
Yeah.
Out of the World Health Organization.
Bye.
Right? Good riddance. Yeah, it's awesome.
I like how they're going to set up a external revenue service to collect all the
back
money from all these countries that owe us money.
Yeah, all the conspiracy, right? Okay, people are like, oh, conspiracy. Look what's happening right now, okay? So now we've got the external revenue service coming in, and ultimately it's going to replace the internal revenue service.
Because they won't need it.
Say goodbye to your income taxes because they're going away, right? We'll have a VAT tax. That's fine. If you're ever gonna try to screw the tax people, now's the time to do it. Hiring freeze, and they're firing something like 90,000 workers from the IRS. So
and the rest of them that have to go into work are going to quit.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly all parts. Ron is saying, I feel the EV movement missed a huge opportunity by not catering to the no option platform. Yes, a Tesla played with manual windows, manual seats, etc. We would be badasser. Yeah, no, seriously. I think you're absolutely right. Forget about exotic cars like the Plaid, right? Just the basic EV, just a simple basic EV that doesn't look like a rolling freak show, that just has basic car things for the basic person who just needs to basically go about their basic business every day.
A heater with one of these sliding knobs.
Yeah, I think that they would sell a ton of EVs. I would be in the market. Okay, I may be exaggerating that. Okay, I could see where I could put a car like that to use locally, right? And for that purposes, I think EVs would be fantastic. But they missed that ship completely. They decided to focus on exotica, right? They had to make these things look like exotics, run like exotic, have all features that are exotic.
Drive themselves, do all the bullshit.
Right, they shot themselves in the foot. If they put out a basic like a 1980s K car, okay, that type of thing, right?
That was electric.
It's electric with like 150 miles of range that the average person can just like do their shopping real quick, or they would sell a ton of those, and they'd be able to meet a really affordable price point, a reasonable price point. But no, they had to go the exact opposite direction. So you know what? Screw those people. They're idiots. Oh, TK, what's happening, brother, man? Breaking news. The new Stellantis V8 is an updated 318. Are you serious? It's an LA motor?
Or even a Magnum but probably.
Well, yeah, I mean, TK, elaborate on that.
Yeah, a little more.
Yes, more. Don't tease me like that. Very good. The Trump thing at the Biden and Harris. Dude, that was brutal. That was so brutal. Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. They were just sinking lower and lower in their seats. And that, I tell you got to hand it to Trump, right? Whether you like him or you hate him, you got to hand it to him. He has the balls of the great ape. He's just awesome to watch in that way.
And he never gets tired.
Never gets tired. He's just
all the time,
just right. Yeah. You could hate. Listen to me, right? You could hate somebody. You could disagree with the politics. You could disagree with them. That doesn't mean you don't admire the qualities that they do have. So regardless of how you feel about what he's doing or what laws he's passing, you got to give this guy respect. So he's saying, "Yep, I've sourced Days dual overhead cam. Others saying slightly updated from the old engine, just more efficient." Oh man, the 318 wasn't a dual overhead cam motor. The 318 was just like an inline wedge. Mm-hmm. Oh, let's talk about the poly.
Yeah.
The earlier 318, but that wouldn't fit. There's just no way that they could make something like that fit. One source says, keep me posted on that, man. Keep me posted on that. You guys don't know. Listen, if you're into this whole drama, insanity, craziness that's going on with Stellantis and the whole Chrysler Plymouth Jeep dealer thing and the Charger fiasco and all of this stuff that's going on, TK's Garage is probably the best source. TK puts out something like 60 or 70 videos a day, right? Right? About that?
About that, every time you open up your feed, there's a new one from him.
Yeah, he clogs up my TV. It gets a little weird at times, you know what I mean? But that's besides the point. He's posting constantly on all of this stuff, and he's got sources. Guy's really good. So yeah, TK's Garage. Go over there and sub to his channel. All right. So look at what time it is.
It's time to get the frick
to,
out of here.
Yes. To go out into the cold.
Well, it's not the another layer of cold.
Stay petty, my friends. Yeah. Yes. All right. Okay. Yes. What do you need to talk about? Hurry up, because they start leaving right away. Watch that number's going to plummet. Right.
They start leaving right away.
We never get any likes, man. Nobody ever likes or likes.
I know. You can't get up to 200 to save our soul. But
it's incredible.
No, I just have to be non-lazy and go into the cold and work on crap.
Yeah, same here.
Because Jamie embarrassed me. He's like outside 30 degrees. Well, this sucks, but I'm out here making videos. And I'm like,
but Jamie's only like 15
that is true. Yeah, you have like 5 decades on him. Yeah.
I think I've had a few more motorcycle crashes than Jamie has. I've got arthritis from my scalp to my toenails. All right. So he's going to get stuff going on his channel. Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab. I'm going to do stuff, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Our awesome, fantastic mods. Zero Mexican Spec Fubar. Thank you guys so much. You thank our mods again.
Mwah.
right?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome, guys. Everybody who contributed, super chat, guys, thank you so much. Never expected, but always appreciated. And these days, with YouTube revenue where it is, it actually
Yes.
really does make a difference.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, January is a tough time to be a YouTuber, bro. So thank you for the super chats. Everybody contributed with just your presence and your conversation. Thank you equally. We are eternally grateful for you guys giving us your time, which is the most valuable, more valuable than gold, more valuable than silver,
Of all
Bitcoin,
every
anything.
million things to do in the world, they're here.
You gave us your time, and thank you so much for that. And that's it, right?
That's it. Hit the button.
Yes, I'm into this. I'm gonna hit this and so on. Oh, and TK's Garage. Go over there and sub TK's Garage. Thank you all, and good night. End. Right.
And
Boom.
right there.